Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. If you like making money, click the subscribe button, click a thumb up on the content if you like it. So we're gonna go over a market update. I kind of just randomly going over a bunch of different sectors, different companies to give you a little bit broader picture of the overall market. I'm gonna go over some diversified miners and over some other companies that I think look pretty good. So we'll pop in here to do a market update. Again, I'm going to just make some general comments. Uranium is continuing its uptrend. It looks very strong, but keep in mind, at some point we're going to have a pullback. So it's not going to be a straight line higher. Just keep that in mind. Focus on valuations, focus on market conditions, and this might be the time to conjure up money and slowly cost average into your positions. This isn't going to be a straight line higher. So be prepared for a pullback sometime in the future. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but at some point it's going to happen. Gold and silver finally coming a little bit alive again. We had a little bit of up days. Those charts are looking pretty good overall. Oil's looking pretty good. Put in a pretty good update today. But today I'm going to talk about diversified miners, some cannabis stocks, some airline stocks, and some other companies that potentially look good in some of the sectors that we like in terms of oil, maybe uranium, something like that. And keep in mind, this is just financial education. So here's Norilsk nickel. I just wanted to show you this chart. Remember, we were coming down in this pattern. We were coming up to break this pattern. This is where I was like, get in, get in, get in. We shot higher at cheetah speeds and are ricocheting off of this top resistance level here. You can just see it, boom, head first right into a brick wall. And now we're recovering down here. We pulled back. It's starting to regain its composure. And eventually we're going to attack this resistance line again. This is very, we've got a lot of sellers in this congestion area and this area here. So it ran into that block of a wall. So just give it some time, and I think eventually you'll see this drift sideways and up. Here's South 32. It's the same thing. If you were to look at some of the resistance back here, if you kind of draw the line across, it's very close to this line at 10 bucks. It's just a hair below it. So it kind of went up. There was too many sellers. It had to come back down and rest a little bit. It'll go sideways or come back up eventually and get through that resistance area. Here's Rio Tinto. Nice break on this line here. Again, I was like, get in, get in, get in. And we're drifting higher. It's looking pretty good. This thing could substantially go higher over time. So it looks very good for Rio. BHP, same exact situation. I bought down here off this downtrend break and I was like, ooh, it's gonna go right after this. It bounced off, came back a little bit, composed itself, boom, higher, and went through. This is a very good area, I think, to cost average in myself. I like buying on the breakouts, and this is just kind of sitting here, probably gonna go sideways or higher in the future. VLE, it broke its massive, this was like a 15-year pattern. I'm just focused in here. Broke out, pulled back. I love buying off the spot right here, and then gone. This may need a little bit of a breather. It may go up a little bit and kind of cycle a little bit to consolidate its gain. But what I'm seeing is a long-term break. I'm seeing this thing move up very quickly, just like the uranium sector almost. And then I think it's going to kind of settle into a 50, above the 50-day moving average, which is this blue line. And it's just going to cycle kind of up, back and forth above the 50-day for a very long period of time, whatever this bull market is. That's kind of what I'm envisioning. Maybe it doesn't happen like that. Maybe it hits a 200-day every once in a while. But that's kind of what I'm guessing is going to happen. Here's Spirit Airlines. Yeah, you're looking at this. Yeah, we had a down move. You can see this consolidation pattern here, and it broke to the downside. But I wouldn't be worried. This isn't a pretty good situation. We've got all these big up days everywhere sprinkled within. I think you might just see this maybe pull back down here, consolidate a little bit, and then go and move on up. Because I see the airlines being very strong next year when traveling starts coming back. Same with Delta Airlines. You know, we've got a bearish engulfing here. We've got some bearish moves in here. We got a bullish piercing. It's a struggle and it's a fight. Maybe it comes back to the 50-day. Maybe it even pulls below it. I wouldn't be too worried if I was owning Delta. I would just hold on and sit tight. That's kind of what I would do. So Tilray. Tilray is a cannabis stock. Again, we broke a large downtrend through here. Lots of big up days with the small pullbacks. This is just pulling back and it's doing its thing, stair-stepping higher. Aphria is the same way. It's got a nice little pullback going. I mean, this is a major move here. We went from like 450 area all the way, almost 100% gain. It's just consolidating those gains and resting for a little bit. Maybe it comes back to the 50-day. Maybe it consolidates and comes back right here. But I would be a holder, and I'd probably be cost averaging in if you like these companies. Here's CGC, and this looks very good to me. We pulled up. We've got nice big up days everywhere with small pullbacks. We got a pullback with a bullish engulfing right here, and then the pullback within it. Signature trait that something big is going to come. I think this is a very good, I mean, right here, this bullish engulfing with the little pullback. It's going to go up. Path of least resistance is higher eventually. Whether it's 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, even if it goes down a little bit, it doesn't disrupt the pattern. This signifies that the buyers are going to move this higher. That's kind of what I'm seeing in this chart pattern. Here's Boeing. It looks like it's having its pullback. Maybe it comes back to the 50-day. I don't see the pullback ending yet, but that's one to watch. But if you look, we've got 2 big up days here, and then see all these little down days with the pullback. I mean, it might be good to, if you like Boeing, to cost average in a little bit, especially like right inside of this candle. It looks pretty good. So I bet you this eventually is going to go on up. It looks very strong because of these 2 big up days and then the small pullback within it. That means that the buyers are in control and the sellers are just barely leaking out. Now here's Tellurin, T-E-L-L. This looks exceptionally good, and I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. We've got a nice move on up. We've got the bearish engulfing, which says this thing's going to go lower and a little bit of a pullback. You got 2 of them here. Do you see that? We've got the small up days and the bigger down days said, yep, we're pulling back. We pulled back, we moved up, and then see how the down days are real small and the up days are getting a little bit bigger. Then we've got this big bullish engulfing. That right there is signaling that this sucker's going higher. I bought today in TELL. That's what I did. I bought, I think it was at like $1.30. Boom, right there. I got in it. I was like, this looks pretty good. I liked the way it was acting and behaving. And I was just lucky enough in the middle of the day that it pulled back, and I was like, oh, I bet you this is going to finish strong. I took a gamble, and yeah, it did finish strong. So this looks very good to me. Core Energy, same thing here. Looking pretty good. Pulled up. Yeah, we had a little bit of a pullback, but we got this bullish engulfing piercing going on right here. I don't know which one. It's probably a piercing. I think this is going to continue to go to the upside. Looks pretty good to me. Here's ENCUF, and I'm going to show you what I look for in these charts so you guys can start understanding what I'm looking for. Volume is big. We've got big volume here. We broke out of this pattern here. Popped higher, small pullback, bullish engulfing. Now, I don't think this bullish engulfing is signaling a move that's going to be this high. I think it's going to continue to go higher. Whether this comes back a little bit and then goes higher, I think that's kind of immaterial. But we've got this up day and we've got the small down days in it. Do you see that pattern right there? That is still very bullish. It means the buyers still have control. Does this mean it's going to go up right next day? I can't give you that information. I don't know. But I think the buyers are in control, and I think this is going to continue to move higher. And whether this has a little pullback near term, I can't tell you that. All I can say is that the buyers are in control and will continue, I think, to go higher over time, over the next month or so or 2 months. Sure, it could have a small little pullback on it, but still this looks really good. It could potentially go up, the next day even. I don't know for sure, but it looks strong. Tudor Gold. I keep coming back to this chart and saying, man, this thing looks so strong. Big up days, small pullback. Big up days. I know you hear this over and over. Big up days. See the size of this candlestick? That's like a 20% day or something. And then you got these small pullbacks. It's just the sellers are leaking out. Notice how on this side of the chart, it has large down day candlesticks. Then this candlesticks get smaller. and smaller and smaller and smaller as you go on. Now it's a dead period. See this dead period where it's basically just going sideways? It's not going up or down. The sellers are leaking out. Think of the sellers as a water jug. You have a full water jug, you tilt the water jug over, and water's leaking out of the jug. At the beginning, you have high velocity, high momentum. That's over here. Right now, the jug, the sellers, or the jug they're the water inside the jug. The water's just barely leaking out now. That's over here. We call this the dead period. This dead period, if you notice, a lot of wicks on the bottom, very, very strong buyers under here. It came back down and boom, popped right back up at a 7.5% day, 15 cent move. This to me looks like a very strong chart. Also, I mean, if you draw the chart, you've got this coiling up inside of it with a dead period right here. Of course, I'm going to add a little bit and put some money into it. That's just me. I'm not telling you guys what to do. This chart looks incredibly strong. TDRRF. Again, metallic minerals. What do I look for in the chart so you guys can start learning this stuff? Big up day, and see the small pullback days. Big up day, small pullbacks. Big up day here, small pullback, bullish engulfing. We came up to a dead period here. And we pulled back, the buyers came and answered, and now we've got the sellers all inside of this one day. That to me is bullish. Could it go down a little bit more, like a day or two more? Sure it could. But I think the buyers are going to step in here. I think silver's looking very good. Gold's looking very good. I think the setup for gold and silver look excellent for 2021. I've been a buyer in here. I've been cost averaging in a lot of these companies, you know, MMNGF, some of the royalty companies, ELYGF, TEUTF. I'm looking at some of the other miners like Discovery Metals that I did a video on. If you want to look at that video. But I'm been cost averaging in. I'm getting my shares. I bought a little bit in TELL today. TDRRF looked really good. I'm buying the things, if you notice what I'm doing, I'm buying the things that are low and have pulled back, that have very good potential right in front of us. I'm not chasing a lot of companies when they move up. I'm not chasing base load right now. I'm not chasing Nova Royalty. I'm not chasing some of the uranium companies that are up quite a bit, even though they still look pretty good. I'm not, some of the oil stuff. I bought SWN recently. I bought AR recently. I disclosed that in some other clips. That's where I'm looking. I'm looking at things that are breaking chart patterns or that have pulled back and are looking excellent to set up for multi-month runs. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm looking at the value, I'm looking at the market conditions, and then I look at the charts to see which ones are exhibiting characteristics of the buyers being in control, that are down still and are about to be future cheetahs, so to speak. If you guys like this content, click the thumbs up button. If you have questions, leave them in the comment section. I can create videos for you guys. I want you to understand I want you to get the content in front of you to have you understand how to navigate through this commodities bull market coming up. You're not going to get another one of these commodity bull market for another 20 or 30 years. This is the time that you have to learn about what to do in this bull market. And keep in mind, I am buying and holding my stocks. I am not trading in and out. I'm not day trading. I'm not doing anything of that sort. This stuff is based off of probability and statistics. It is not sure bets. Sure, we can tip it in our favor, and we can, if you're good enough, you can maybe even get 80 or 90% to be right. But you're gonna have to time it okay. You're gonna have to be patient because some of the timing isn't gonna be perfect. But I think over time, over a long period of time, the valuation, if we're off on our technical analysis, the valuations are so low and the market conditions are pushing us all forward that we'll be right anyway. So thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate you guys listening. This is Finding Value.